Flamingo, better known as All Nightmare Long.
Right. It actually goes back to a chord progression in the chorus that was left over from the old Presidio days, back in when everybody was hot and bothered, not getting along, back in the beginning of what ended up being their film that people have seen, back when we were arguing and yelling at each other. I think that's the only thing that's left over from that time period,
Yeah,
and that's also enough. So that kind of started out as more of a mid-tempo type of deal, and with this particular chorus, but that had these pretty cool chord progressions. And then as the process went along, we thought it was a little light, and so we sped it up. And all the verse bits and all the other bits, this is one of those songs that went through a lot of heavying up over the course of the last couple of years. And it just sort of got faster and faster and darker and more fucked up as we went along, thankfully. And ended up with also having a bunch of lyrical approaches to it until this almost pulp-like kind of lyric thing came up about nightmares and darkness and despair, like the rest of the songs.
Yeah, I seem to remember that one of the main riffs also started off as just like a section that we played in the latter part of the song, but then we realized it was so good we should just use it more, so we moved it to the front of the song, and it stayed in the front of the song.
Sure.
Yeah.
And there's also a middle part of the song that's actually from the song we had called Glass Cow that we actually played live on tour back in '06. What started happening as we had about 25 songs, and we kind of sat down in the first round of elimination, and we got rid of about half of them, but the 10 or 12 songs we got rid of weren't all of them throwaways. They were more like, we saw almost use them more as a scrapyard, because there were bits in each of the songs that were good enough to warrant being included, but not necessarily the whole song. So the whole middle bit of All Nightmare Long was the middle bit in the song called Glasgow that, like I said, we played on tour a couple of years ago. None of the rest of the song got saved, but just a couple of the chord progressions from the middle. That's how we work a lot. We take like bits from some song and put them with other bits and stuff like that once you kind of get in and do the writing and arranging. And also, especially with these songs, because we kind of wanted to give ourselves the freedom of not having to deal with any pressure of writing songs at a particular length. There was no, I think a few years in the 90s we tried to keep the songs a little more compact and maybe try to get to the point quicker, say, unlike what we're doing now. But this time we just kind of let it go and decided that, the song is going to be as long as and some of them are close to 10 minutes,